Good evening, everyone. Today we are going to present our project, Slide2Study, which is a novel learning system. We might miss some of our classes. And we usually catch up them by opening the slides and start reading them from beginning to end. This approach is very passive. So the problem is that we might think we understood all topics, but in the exam we found that no, it's not that. So we propose the interactive learning system, which gets the lecture slide as an input and provides some notes and also some practical question as output. What makes our system novel is that we generate a question based on the 3 levels of Bloom taxonomy. The first level is the remember. For example, can you remember the quadratic formula or not? Then the deeper level is the understand level. For example, do you understand the quadratic formula or not? And then the last level is the application or apply level. Can you use the quadratic formula in order to solve the quadratic equation or not? This is the structure of our system. As I said, the input is the slide of the course. And then we have the text extractor module, which is responsible for parsing the text. And then, based on the parsed text, we generate the notes for it. And now it's time for generating the question. The first level of the question, by default, is the remember. We give you a remember question, and you should give the answer to that. And we also have a grader agent, which is responsible to evaluate your answer. And based on your answer, you can the system decide you can go to next question or not.
Okay, so first, let's just focus on this question generator agent. How can we tell if it's working correctly? Well, first of all, we want it to produce a question in the correct level. So if we require a remember question, we want to create a remember question. So how are we going to do this? We're going to use this anatomy course that I'm in, and we're going to create a data set using past exams from that anatomy course, where we're going to collect all these questions, and we're going to label them as remember, understand, or apply. So now that we have this data set, we're going to create a Bloom level classifier agent that we're going to prompt engineer iteratively using the data set. So what that means is we're going to send in those questions, see what Bloom level it classifies them as, and then see if it misclassifies some of them, and change the prompt. And so eventually it agrees with our data set 86% of the time. And we also want the question to be highly relevant to our slides. So for this, we create a data set where we have the slide text, and we use weekly quiz questions from that anatomy course, and we associate them, and we give those questions a high relevance since the instructor created them. And then we create examples that have low relevance and are completely irrelevant. And similarly, we create a relevance evaluator agent that intakes the slide text in question and gives us a relevance score out of 100. And it agrees with our data set 87% of the time. So now that we have these 2 evaluators, we can actually use our system to generate a bunch of questions. We generated some 6,000 questions here. And we can send those questions into our Bloom level classifier. And so we can compare the requested Bloom level to the outputted Bloom level by our Bloom level classifier, and that would be our accuracy. In terms of the relevance, we can do the same thing. We can use our system to generate a bunch of questions and attach them with that slide text and send that to our relevance evaluator, and we're going to get a relevance. And our goal here is just to have a high relevance. And so for this first metric, you can see here on these black bars are the accuracy for the remember, understand, and apply questions when we use one single agent to create all 3 levels of questions. We also tried using 3 separate agents for these 3 levels of questions, and the accuracy was about the same, so we can just use one single agent for this task. In terms of the relevance was also quite high for all our questions, and we actually noticed a trend here where the remember questions were most relevant, understand questions were less relevant, and apply questions were least relevant. And intuitively, this makes sense since application requires you to take some information outside of the slides and apply it. So that was the question generator agent. Now, what about the grader agent?
In order to provide a grader agent, we generate our own data set which contains some question and some answer regarding to that question, and also label of this data set is the grade of that answer. It can be correct or partial correct or incorrect. Based on this data set and by using the prompt engineering approach, we generate our grader agent, and we could achieve the accuracy of the 86%. And now for the learning outcomes, we find that our system can easily generate a remember and understand question with a higher accuracy. But in some cases, it's do a mistake on generating the apply questions. And also, we provide all of our evaluator agents by using a two approach, fine-tuning approach and also prompt engineering approach. We find that the accuracy are almost same, but fine-tuning approach takes a lot of time and also is very costly during training. Thanks for your kind attention. Thank you.